Back at it again, and I got a couple stories for you guys, and one of them is a clip that has absolutely gone viral. Even several of you have commented about it in the comment section, and I've known about it for a couple of days now, for a few days now, and just hadn't got around to it. But here we are, and forewarning, get your tissues ready. This is a heartbreaking video that we are about to witness. It's not graphic in any way, shape, or fashion. I don't believe there's any cursing or anything like that, but it is heartbreaking. So get your tissues ready. You've been warned. You've been warned. Let's dive in.
I need this message to go out to our vice president who's running for president. I have heard all over social media about, excuse me if I say anything wrong, immigrants getting loans, money. It was hard for me to believe. It was just extremely hard for me to believe. I've been in business such a long time. Back in 2019, I purchased my first food truck. It cost me over $25,000. I paid it cash money. I worked hard to pay for this truck. I'm now selling it because I'm doing other things, but I'm selling it. I had a guy come to look at purchasing my vehicle, or my food truck, and he explained to me he's an illegal immigrant. He has no credit. He has no money in the bank. But he showed me his paperwork that he will receive funds to purchase my food truck. I'm thankful that he's buying it, but I'm hurt that I worked so hard to pay cash for my food truck. I have good credit, can't even get a business loan because of the color of my skin. I have veterans in my family. I'm a veteran. I've been self-employed for so long. But somebody, please tell me, how do I work so hard to have somebody who comes to this country, not long, no credit, and he shows me paperwork where they'll be funding him money to buy my food truck. And when I talked to the bank, they told me usually they have to go straight to a dealership because I'm a private sale. But for special circumstances, they're going to, they allow it. But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money. Money! We're doing nothing but just being here. It's not right, and I want answers.
I agree with that last part. It ain't right, and we need answers. One of the answers is don't vote for these fools again, right? We as a country need to send a strong and clear message. We ain't voting for y'all again. Now, I know all of us didn't vote for that, but as an entire country, we need to not vote for them fools again. They did the same thing in Chicago. I've talked about that story time and time again. I've even made a video on that entire thing where black people were protesting, saying they're going to turn the city red. They ain't voting blue anymore. They voting red. It's a shame when you have hardworking Americans that are brought to tears because they've worked their butts off and struggled, put the time and the effort, contributed to society, right? Paid their taxes, just to have illegals come here and get everything for free. That's a slap in the face. A major slap in the face. Coming from the same party that claims to love black people, love and cherishes black folks. Look, guys, we got a black vice president, guys. At least that's what they tell us. She's Indian, if you ask me. But look, she could be the president. She's black. Look. But yet, that same party will treat a black person like this. Spit in their face. Give everything free to the illegals and nothing to the black person that's working their butt off. Time to walk away. It's time to walk away. And it's time to disprove the narrative that Democrats aren't the racist ones in our country. They most definitely are.
One of the main reasons I left the Democratic Party is because they're racist. Ironically, the reason I was doing this research is because I thought, as a leftist and a Democrat, I was an ally. So I thought it was my duty to research what African American people have gone through and what they still go through. And what I found led me to no longer want to be a Democrat. Let's start with this. This is a woman named Margaret Sanger. She's the founder of Planned Parenthood. She pretty much coined abortions and birth control. And she was also a huge advocate for eugenics. She had issues with black and brown people. She was highly favored by the Nazis and by Democrats. She placed the first Planned Parenthood buildings in predominantly black neighborhoods. I personally believe that voters believe in pro-choice, but the people at the top are going more for the same type of thing that she was, and you'll see that throughout this. Next up, we have a thing called redlining. So if you're not familiar with this, basically they drew red lines around majority black communities and deemed them dangerous or high risk for things like loans, insurance, and the like. This practice was done under the Franklin D. Roosevelt administration. It's taken a major toll on wealth accumulation, home ownership, and just overall opportunity. Next up, we have Lyndon B. Johnson, the Democrat president that was responsible for the civil rights movement. So you would never expect it to be here. If you want to go down a deep rabbit hole, look up how racist this man was. He's done a ton of stuff, but one of the things that was super public was he was always using soft bigotry. So he would openly say things about black people that were not okay. Not unlike Joe Biden saying that you're not really black if you don't vote for him. Some other examples of soft bigotry on the left are them saying that black people can't use computers, that they want to get rid of requiring a driver's license at places of voting because black people don't have IDs. Kamala at the BET Awards pandering. Kamala constantly referencing rappers and having Meg Thee Stallion perform at her rally because she thinks that African American people can't be spoken to in a normal way. I've spoken a lot about this in previous videos, but the biggest part of the soft bigotry that the Democrats tend to engage in is the white savior complex. They refuse to listen to black and brown voices at all. They genuinely believe that they can help minorities more than minorities can help themselves. Democrats formed the KKK. They were responsible for slavery, Jim Crow laws, segregation, and more. And when challenged on these things, they fought tooth and nail to keep these things in place throughout all history. When I was on the left, I would also peddle the myth that Democrats and Republicans switched parties, but they never did. The only difference is that Democrats stopped being openly racist and switched over to what I call soft bigotry because they realized that the black vote matters to them. There's no evidence otherwise that the parties have switched. The Republican Party was literally formed in response to slavery, hence why Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves, was Republican. Don't get me wrong, there's racists in every political group. I condemn every single person. My belief is that Democrats were inherently and very openly racist for a very long period of time. Once they realized that that was hurting their party, they decided it would be better to tuck it away and hide it. And I do believe that's why you get a lot of finger pointing, like that everybody else but the Democrats are racist. Generally, I view it as the Democratic Party creating a major problem and then thinking that they're going to be the ones to sell you the solution, that they're going to save you from racism when they are the ones that are responsible for a large part of it.
You know, I don't think I could have said that any better myself. The party that claims to not be racist is actually the racist. But the fact that they claim to not be should tell you everything you need to know, because if you truly weren't, you wouldn't have to tell me. I would just feel it. I would know. When I was around you, I would know. But that's not the case at all. Like she said, the soft bigotry of low expectations. You know, this whole, for example, like the voter ID argument. They always bring up black people. Well, black people, you know, are disenfranchised. Why is it black people? Huh? Why is it us? Why not white people? Why do you always mention black people when it comes like we're all just broke and don't have anything? Now, granted, I don't have a lot because of Joe Biden and Kamala's economy, right? Because everything's extremely expensive. We need to get her up out of there ASAP. All right. But I could pay for an ID, as if I don't know where to go get one either. I couldn't figure that one out. You know, like Kathy Hochul, the Democrat governor of New York, and is currently the Democrat governor of New York, talked about black people don't know what laptops are. Like, what? We don't know what a computer is? What are you talking about? Like, the fact that she would even fix her lips to even say that. Like, what in the... But they're not the... See, and this is the thing also. If Trump had said that, oh my goodness, they'd be playing that on loop. Oh my goodness, how dare Trump say such a thing? You know, it was like when Trump said, well, I don't know if Kamala is black. You know, she used to promote Indian, then all of a sudden she was black, so I don't know. They went crazy over that. They still talk about that. They still talk about that. Now, just imagine if Trump said, well, black people don't know how to use computers. They would be going nuts. But because it was a Democrat that said it, they talked about it for a day, and then it's a non-story. Nothing. Have you heard anything about Kathy Hochul saying that lately? Other than me talking about it? You haven't heard a peep? Not a single thing. Have you heard anything about Joe Biden calling black kids roaches? What about him saying, you know, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black? Have you heard anything about that recently? Have you heard about the fact that Kamala stood on a ticket with a known racist in Joe Biden? Which she said it out of her own mouth. He was against desegregating busing, and she was like, well, I was that little girl. Has anybody talked about that on mainstream media? How she stood openly next to an open racist? Has anybody talked? Now, if that were Trump, it would be all over the news. Because he's Trump and he's a Republican. But because it's been Democrats, it's just it's fine. It's okay for Democrats to be racist, but as soon as a Republican is, oh my goodness, it's, you know, anytime any Republican says anything even remotely that could be conceived as even nearly racist, oh my goodness, he says she ain't black, shock the presses, oh my goodness, But you say nothing about Kathy. You say nothing about Joe Biden. You say nothing about Kamala. You say nothing. Interesting how that works. But as always, I just wanted to show y'all those couple of videos because I'm sick and tired of the narrative. I'm also sick and tired of watching, you know, my fellow Americans struggle. And then you have somebody like Kamala who comes, I'll save you guys. You know, I'll just spend another $2 trillion to try to save you guys, even though we're like 40 trillion in debt already. But, you know, I'll just keep spending, guys. You know, we'll spend our way out of this situation. What? I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say what I was thinking right there, but I'm sick and tired of the mess, the BS. We shouldn't be struggling like this. We shouldn't have to watch videos like that. That shouldn't be a thing here in America, where our government takes in a boatloads of money, and we're sending it off to this place and that place and that place and that place and that place, and spending it on this BS thing and that BS thing and that BS thing and that BS thing, right? We shouldn't have stories like that. We just shouldn't be seeing it. I'm sick of it. Get these Democrats up out of here ASAP. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.